and I'm going to control it as best as I can. Yo, what's up everyone, it's KK. Today, I'm using my gun stock right now because I want to show you the difference between using a gun stock and freehanding. I want to give you a real example to show you whether it's worth you getting one or not, because me personally, if you have watched my videos, maybe about 80% of my videos, I know I upload a lot, but 80% of them are me using a gun stock. And just recently, I've actually stopped using my gun stock for own personal reasons, but we're going to go into pros and cons, and then we'll go into why I stopped using mine myself. Alright, so first of all, with a gun stock, let's talk about some good things about it. The number one thing you're going to get out of a gun stock is being able to aim quickly, fast ADS, okay? Now, I'll say one thing, a gun stock doesn't necessarily help you shoot better or aim better. It's more so just for boom, quick pull, boom, quick pull, boom, quick pull. You know, this is what a gun stock is really going to get you at end-tier gameplay. This is what's going to, save you. It's one of those things that only works in situational situations where somebody's very, very close, maybe on Matka or Underground, you're moving, somebody pops up and, you need to get a quick aim and your reticles lined up quick. That's what a gun stock is really going to help you with. Now, besides having a very fast quick draw, the other thing a gun stock is really going to help you with is immersion. Now, this feels amazing in your hands. I promise you, that's one of the first things you're going to notice. Maybe it'll take a while for you to get comfortable with having one in your hands, but having a gun stock feels amazing. And honestly, when I was using it so much, I would literally just walk around my house with my gun stock in my hand, just because it feels amazing to just like the immersion. It actually feels like you're holding a weapon, and it's kind of insane when you really think about it. Now, as far as the cons, I know the pros were a little short there, but those are the main, benefits of using a gun stock. It's just having the fast aim, that's what's really going to help you. Now, the cons of having a gun stock, I wouldn't say is learning it, because once you learn how to properly use it and you learn whatever gun stock you are using, it becomes very easy. It's not like something like the learning curve is insane. Give it 72 hours and you'll be fine with that. One of the cons that I can say is that the time it takes to take your hand off the magnet and get into another action can definitely be a problem. You'll notice it more when you get into fights, but definitely there's some times where you want to hurry up and take the mag out your gun. Depending on the calibration in this game, or if you calibrate or not, different guns have different locations in the magazine. You could possibly hit your gun stock while trying to put in the mag or take out the magazine, and slight things like that can cause a delay, especially when you're in a heat of a moment in a fight. Now, if I went here and I was like, say I have a mag in my backpack, it's not on my vest, right? I'm sitting here, boom, I'm aiming in, I'm firing. Then I gotta already drop my gun there a little bit, switch it back in. As you can see, that time, it took me a lot of time there to really get that done. Let me try it one more time. Straight from aim point. I'm messing up because I'm trying to do it fast. And there we go. I'm not sure how fast that is, but it's definitely not as fast as freehanding. 100% not as fast. So there definitely will be situations where you get into a fight and you need to do a quick reload, or maybe pull out a nade from your backpack, and you're going to run into the issue of, your gun stock being a little slow. Now, obviously, depending on your skill with your gun stock, you'll be a little faster with it over time, but there's always some complications when it comes to it. Now, my gun stock is a little different. It's actually not detachable by two cuffs. I always have this one in my hand. That's just the way mine works. Obviously, you can get a mag tube. This is a Pro Tube CQB. The mag tube will allow you to take both stocks off, or both hands off the stock, and kind of freehand at that point. But I can't do that because sitting down, I don't want the gun stock sitting in my lap or so. It's a lot better to just have it in my hand already. But besides that point, you'll still run into an issue where you have to detach your cups every time, and you're going to have to put them back onto your gun stock every time when you pick up the weapon. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to learn, and it's definitely a learning curve. Okay, another con about using a gun stock is that when you're using the gun stock, you need to always have the best grip on your gun while you are using it. If you don't have a grip on your gun or using a weak gun, you're prone to, fall to the bad recoil that the gun has, if the gun has bad recoil. Now, this is the thing here. When it comes to holding a gun with the gun stock, you have two of the cups attached to the stock, which keeps the gun in place, but that means if you bring your hands down, you're bringing the whole gun down. While freehanding, yeah, since your front hand is the only one going down while you're trying to control the recoil, you're only controlling the barrel here. You're not controlling the whole stock as if you were, you know, using a gun stock. So when you're aiming here and I'm trying to control the recoil with the gun stock, it's not going to be as good as freehanders because I'm actually pushing the whole gun down if I'm trying to control the recoil, while freehanders just push the barrel down, which helps them out a lot more. So I'm going to shoot at this wall right here and try to control the recoil as best as I can. And then I'm going to go freehand and I'm going to control the recoil as best as I can and go to the pros and cons of freehanding. So here we go right now at the wall, and I'm going to control it as best as I can. Yeah, as you can see, I shot right here and I could not control it any more than that. Full auto, it just went straight up to the sky, and I promise you, I tried to push my gun down as much as I could, but that's just what you're gonna get here. When you're using the gun stock, you cannot control the recoil as good as you can while freehanding unless you have a good grip on your gun. Now let me go and freehand this and I'll show you the difference. Alright, so now we're here freehanding. We do not have the gun stock, right? And I'm gonna show you how well I can control the recoil while I am only freehanding the weapon. Now you can see here that with freehanding, I was able to keep all the bullets in a pretty controlled area, while using the gun stock, it just had to fly, and there was nothing I can do about it. Let me go ahead and shoot one more, just so you can really see here. Back up a little further, and boom, right here. As you can see, it's almost as if the gun has no recoil, but it's simply because I'm holding down the front end of the barrel and keeping it steady, while with the gun stock, you're gonna have to push the whole gun down instead, and that's not enough to control the recoil. Alright, so when it comes to freehanding, the best thing you're gonna notice right away is that you're just free. You don't have a stock in your hand, there's nothing hindering you, there's nothing stopping you from, any movements, nothing that's gonna just interrupt your gameplay. Now I'm gonna do the same test here, and I'm going to show you how quick it is to put a mag in a gun. Now, I'm not going to do the tactical reload because I didn't do that with the gun stock. I'm just going to take a mag out of my bag, right? It's probably like the longest animation you can take to reload, so that's what I'm going to show you here. So I got some mags from my bag, I got some mags in my gun, and I'm going to show you a quick reload just like I did with the gun stock. Aim in. All right, and we're gonna do one more here. Aim in. All right, so that's freehanding. Now I'll put these videos back to back by each other so you can see the comparison yourself. Obviously, this comes down to my skill of freehanding and using a gun stock, but I've been using both for such a long time now, so hopefully it is a kind of a good comparison for you to kind of see how quickly it actually is. Aim in. But when it comes to freehanding, it's not just the reloading that's very quick. It's pretty much a lot of your animations, You're going to be able to have your gun in your hand, go from here, boom, put it away, pull your backpack out, get a grenade, and, do what you got to do a lot quicker than if you were freehanding. Or if you're using a gun stock, A lot of these animations are a lot more quicker than using a gun stock. Obviously, if you have skill with your gun stock, you can up that speed a lot, but when it comes to freehanding, you're not going to be able to beat that, I promise you. Now, some more pros about freehanding, which is a little cliche. It's not something that really matters much, but when it comes to tactical CQB gameplay, you're going to be able to pull off things that most people aren't really going to be able to do with their gun stock. So for instance, shooting around a corner without actually going around the corner, I can be right here, push my gun up as much as I want, and just shoot anyone that's around there. Well, I can't do that with a gun stock. Now, although most people don't do that, it's definitely something that's viable, just a quick spray around the corner without actually exposing yourself. That's something with the gun stock is a little hard when you have a physical piece in your hand and you kind of have to like lean forward with it and try to get it in there. It's not the same as the flexibility of, just having a gun stock or not having a gun stock in your hand, and freehanding. Okay, so when it comes to the cons of freehanding, one thing for sure is you may not be able to ADS as quick and line up your reticle. Now, I'm actually pretty good with it here. I've been doing it for a while. So my ADS speed is almost as same as my gun stock speed. And it's a real reason why I kind of actually stopped using my gun stock, because I realized that the gun stock really helps for immersion more. Now, this is personal preference, okay? I'm not trying to say you shouldn't get a gun stock, because getting a gun stock is very, very nice. It'll definitely up your gameplay 100%. It just takes some time to get there. But as you start using that, you develop those skills, it kind of transfers back over to your freehanding. You kind of start understanding how to hold these guns more. You kind of start understanding how these scopes work. And, it's kind of easy for you to start snapping on people while you're actually freehanding. But as I said, sometimes for people that haven't used a gun stock before and they don't understand how the gun animation is supposed to work and swing up in front of their face, it's going to be a little hard for you sometimes to get that reticle lined up. Sometimes you might pull up in a weird angle and then you're trying to, find out where the reticle is at, and that can definitely be a problem. With the gun stock, you will never not find your reticle. Your reticle will always be there 100% of the time. Now, mainly when it comes to like maybe a night force or an ACOG, that's when you're really going to run into these problems, because if you have a gun stock with a night force or an ACOG, it's so easy to just boom, pull up. If I was using an ACOG or a night force, I might have some problems with lining up that reticle first before I actually see my target, So everyone's opinion is different, of course. Everyone plays the game different. Everyone has different skill levels, skill ceilings, and all of that. But I personally stopped using my Pro Tube just because I realized that my skill without it is actually better. The only thing that I can say that I get with my gun stock is immersion. Other than that, if I'm freehanding, I have so much accessibility to go into my bag, pull something out, get my gun back, boom, someone else is behind me, boom, pull out a nade, do this, boom, 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 come here, boom, oh, someone's here, like I have a lot more mobility, in these situations. And trust me, when you're in the heat of a battle, you start to get jittery, you get shaky on things, and when you have a gun stock in your hand, you will mess up a lot when you first start using it in the heat of a battle. You might, try to pull out your mag and you're hitting your gun stock, or your gun stock hits your body in a weird way, or you try to grab your backpack and something is messing up. And there's a lot of those situations. Now, obviously, those situations kind of fade away as you keep using the gun stock and getting better with it. But for one, they will always be there. You'll encounter it sometime at some point. With freehanding, it's a lot more smoother. You're not running into things. You're not hitting yourself. Everything is pretty smooth. You just boom, 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 boom. I don't have any space in my bag, but it's a lot more smoother, and especially when it comes to throwing nades. If you have nades in your pouch, in these pouches or in your bag, using freehanding while using nades is just game changing. It's so easy to pull out nades in the quickest situation. Maybe you just got done shooting somebody and then you want to go and pull out a nade right after and start to shooting them, and it's just so much easier while freehanding. All right, but that's pretty much it. When it comes to using your gun stock, I personally think it's more for the immersion side. It can help you for close quarter combats when somebody's pulling up close and you want to get a quick aim, with whatever scope you have. I think it's definitely going to help you in a situation like that. When it comes to freehanding though, I personally think it's a little bit better. You have a lot more recoil control. You don't have to worry about bumping into things and messing up with your gun stock in your hand. So that's my personal reason why I decided to switch. I just think that my skill with using freehanding is a lot better than using a gun stock. Now for you, it may be completely different. You know, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not saying don't get a gun stock because they're definitely nice to have, 100%. Why am I hungry? But that's pretty much the biggest difference. And I really want you to play back on that recoil control section because that's the real game changer when it comes to freehanding rather than using a gun stock. But hopefully this video kind of gave you a visual idea of what it's going to be like using a gun stock in a game and the pros and cons of actually having one. Don't think it's going to just turn you into an insane beast player because that's not really how it works. It's definitely something that's going to teach you how to handle a gun though. 100%. It's going to teach you your gun handling so even when you stop using a gun stock, you're going to be able to, understand how you should be pulling your gun up when it comes to the reticle and red dots. But that's pretty much it. My character's coughing and being annoying, so I'm going to cut it here. If anyone likes this video or has any questions on gun stocks or anything like that, hit up the comment section. Go ahead and watch some of my past videos where I've used a gun stock. I upload every day, so I know there's so many, but go down there and you'll see it. But that's about it. I'll catch you guys later.